Hi, it's Sue. Welcome back to my channel today. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying some crafting time. I wanted to share a little project. Well, not really a project. What I'm going to do is I did for Roxy's challenge, challenge 17 I think it was, we stamped on fabric. It was the day of stamping on fabric and paper with paint samples. That's the word I'm looking for. I was thinking paint chips, but it's paint samples. And I thought I would share with you, I often stamp on fabric. And here you can see I've stamped all sorts, numbers, words, whatever, and they can just be added to whatever piece you're working on. But I have also stamped and embroidered, and you don't have to do particularly intricate embroidery. A very small back stitch on an image like this works out really well. I think I've got a tray cloth with this image on, and from memory that was all I did. I just backstitched different coloured embroidery floss. So that's another option. I'm going to paint this one today, and it's on Homespun, so we'll see how that goes. I've also added this flower. Now I've added this to this very fine, it is cotton, and it's one of those cottons that has a pattern through it. So it has a self-coloured pattern through. And I'm not sure how the paint will stick to that. And I wanted to show you this piece because on this piece I stamped the same image and I didn't stamp it very well. But it's not altogether lost. I mean, if you've got a uni fine line pen, they're water and fade proof. So you can literally just draw around the lines to improve that image. And I will say that, you know, an image like this, you don't necessarily have to colour that. Actually, if you added some stitching around onto a book cover, that would be really nice as a journal topper. So that's another thought. I'm just going to ink it. I've got a couple more images. These are from one of my old Annabella stamp sets. Lovely stamps. The kind of stamps you should be looking for. Nice clear outlines, not too much detail. There's a bit of detail in the centre of that, but other than that it's quite simple. This one, I've got this one that's a bird. I love that. I thought that was quite cute. That could be nice. I haven't pressed this fabric and it would have helped. So that's worth remembering, press it. This is a rubber stamp. It's of an image. It's a bird on a branch. And this is a Gina K stamp, quite an old one. I'm keen to see how that turns out, especially if we paint it. So without further ado, I've got all my bits around me, bits ready for painting. Palettes, plenty of tissue paper, etc. But I'm using archival ink. It's permanent ink and it's waterproof. So, you know, I'm going to be using my watercolour inks, not inks, paints for this project. And I've got 3 brushes here. I've got quite a fine one, a medium-sized one, which is about, yeah, it's a 6, that one. And I've also got a large one, but I don't think I'm going to be using that. It's a 12. I don't think I'll be using that today. Certainly for the stems, you only want a very fine brush. Right, let's start by stamping some of these images I've misplaced my largest stamp block. I actually keep looking at those precision stamping doobly-doos, you know that I mean, that you put the stamp on and then pull it over to stamp and you get an image in the same direction or the same spot every time. One of those would have been really handy when I was card making, and I'm sort of thinking about it now, but that's as far as I've got thinking about. There's always stuff to spend on, isn't there? Okay, so let's ink this stamp up. I'm just going to try it straight onto the board here, and we'll see if I don't get a great impression, then I might put something a bit springier behind. Just nice even pressure down. Not too bad, not as great as that one, but it's not bad, it's good enough. Okay, I won't talk. I might play you some music and stamp up these other pieces. Okay, so I have a bit of scrap here. I thought we might put some numbers on there. Just one sec. No, I don't want that. Let's keep to numbers. And I've used my pinking shears to cut these out. But obviously, you don't have to use those. If you want to fray your pieces, just tear it. That's fine. Let's do this one. Okay, so I stamped that one twice because I was thinking, at the top of the page, double it over, that'd make quite a good topper. Yeah, lots of ideas for these. So you can see you literally don't waste any of your fabric. You can use the smallest pieces. I mean, if you look at some of these in here, they are tiny. Where's the one? This one. Really tiny. There was the other one I was thinking about. Just an odd little scrap. So that's the stamping. Let's just put this out of the way. And covered in ink now, of course. We'll put that to one side. Let's see how we go. I like this little one. This is like poppy heads. Okay. And we'll just get some colour going. And start painting. And it doesn't really matter. You don't have to be too precise. I mean, these are tiny pieces. Just a hint of colour. So far I seem to be just the other side of that left-hand side line, printing line. That's fine. And these inks, paints, there's so much pigment in the paint, you really don't need a lot. I've got the tiniest splashes. Okay. Just adding water to, you know, the first touch and spreading that colour around. And like here, just spread it. So that's the first one. Let's pop that there. Let's have a look at this bird. Oh, well, actually, no, let's carry on with the poppies. We might as well finish one collection, if you like. Okay, so there's that one. You can see the colours running down there, but I don't mind that either. I might get it to do the same on this side. Okay, put that one to one side. I'm keen to see what this one does, because this fabric is that bit different. So let's have a look. And not only is it bleeding over, it is resisting blending out the colour, which is interesting. Yeah, that's a shame. I think it is because this is quite fine cotton. Yeah, we might put that one to one side and I'll have a play with that off camera. Let's try this bird. I need a smaller brush. There we go. That's that one. All right, I'll quickly do these off camera and I will come back to you when they're done. Okay, so here are my pieces finished, painted. This was the bird. I kept it pretty simple. Just one colour, needs a press. And with this one, that's done. I was actually thinking you could add some little French knots or something, add some colour down the bottom there. I might do that. I'm not sure. I will put it to one side for now, but I'm happy with that one. This one I think you saw, this was the poppy. The other poppy, wasn't so happy with that at all. I actually flooded it with colour to see if I liked that. Nah, not really. I'll put that to one side and decide on that later, or it will end in the bin. Okay, so those are those pieces. And then this was the little bird on a branch, and I've added this to a card, and I obviously didn't stretch it very well, but that's fine. I will give that another press and probably get rid of some of that. But I've added this to a journal card, and this is how I've used this one. And I've left it sort of with an edge around, quite like that. Added a couple of labels, a bit of washi down here. And you can see I've, before I stitched it down, I added the number and a mini pin. So yeah, it's quite happy with that one. This is my favourite. You can see I just stitched this across the top to the card. This card has a label, has some washi, and just generally collaged. It was one of the tags I did overnight. So I'm going through those. I might need to pull another all-nighter and finish off a few more. So that was it. That was my project for today. I think this one will end up in my journal. But I hope you give it a try. I mean, there are all sorts of possibilities, and in the future you will see these images, and certainly this one, I will add some stitching to. So yeah, thanks so much for calling past today. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye now.